And so the model that I propose is not that distinct factors cause cancer on their own, but rather that it's an integration of these different factors. Sometimes we're really clear, and researchers have looked into the independent factorial, multifactorial combination of factors that can cause cancer. So for example, smoking on top of drinking, there's an additive effect. Actually, it's multiplicative because independently they are increased. So a 50% chance of increase from smoking and a 50% chance of increase from alcohol. It's not simply plus 100%, it's multiplicative, meaning plus 225% chance of cancer. All right, so these kind of things, air pollution, asbestos, radon, NO2, PM2.5, they've all found to be multiplicatively increasing chance of cancer. I'd like us to focus on the factors that we can control in the environment and in our lifestyle, all right? We have actually control over the majority of cancer. We're focused on the factors that we can modify: behavior, environment, viruses, because we can protect ourselves just like in COVID with vaccinations and preventing spread. What's the mechanism of carcinogenesis? It's DNA damage and mutations, all right? People all know about this, but that's not the only thing. All right, there's also degraded tissue quality. All right, so tumorigenesis might be initiated because conditions in the microenvironment are poor. For example, if you're smoking, then not only is there DNA damage, but there's also a lower overall quality of tissue. So cell-to-cell communication can be affected. And there's a researcher named Michael Levin who's looking into this particularly. He can cause cancer by turning off those signals and repair those signals. Okay, but the big one that everyone's talking about is inflammation. Viruses, how are they causing cancer? Because of the immune system response and inflammation. All right, obesity there I've highlighted. It causes hypoxia, meaning a lack of oxygen, increasing inflammatory response. All right, so obesity is a causal factor of inflammation, which is carcinogenic, which causes cancer. All right, so interestingly related to this, and we're going to talk more about cancer prevention, upcoming slides, but I'm mentioning it here. Aspirin, because it's anti-inflammatory, it can help prevent cancer. All right, it can help prevent this inflammation, which is a cause of cancer. So a person with gastritis might end up with gastric cancer. But if they can prevent that inflammation by preventing the gastritis or by taking a low dose aspirin, they might not end up with gastric cancer. So the recommended amount is 81 milligrams every day as a low dose. For adults, between 50 and 59. Actually, it's also recommended between 60 and 69 as well. But there are, of course, some possible adverse effects like bleeding. And of course, with age, the question is whether that's worth it or not. Interestingly, related to the lack of oxygen, the hypoxia, quality of sleep, if there's a sleep apnea and oxygen is being reduced, that also can be cancerous. And so they found when sleep is affected, there's also a relationship with cancer. Last is the pH. pH environment, that also can be cancerous, carcinogenic.